Hello and welcome. I'm Charles Aite. This hour, the world is on edge as the Russia-Ukraine crisis intensifies. Oil prices continue to soar past the $100 per barrel mark. And for consumers in Ghana, this will mean high fuel prices, a tanking city performance, and an overall hike in inflation. Already, transport fares are expected to increase by 30% this weekend. And for market watchers, this is just the beginning of hikes. Take a listen to the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, responding to the hike in inflation and the fall in the city. He blames geopolitical events like what you're seeing on your screens to this particular situation.
On 21st December 2021, inaugurated the National Energy Transition Committee to prepare a plan that will guide Ghana's process. As part of its activities, the committee is conducting nationwide stakeholder consultations to solicit inputs from Ghanaians. This forum is the first of such engagements, which will continue to 6 other regional belts in the country. I urge you to provide meaningful contributions that will serve as inputs for the preparation of the plan. In a bid to transition smoothly, Ghana must seek to increase its natural gas-based electricity generation. We shall also harness the use of our gas resources by expanding gas pipelines to key demand centers across the country and increase access to LPG for cooking in households. We all have to be aware that this transition is going to take place over the next 30 years. But the cost of that transition, even though it's going to be over the next 30 years, the costs are being felt today. There's less and less funding available for oil exploration and exploitation. And you are seeing this in an increase in oil prices globally today, as this transition is being talked about and is taking place. But we, in many of the developing countries, are facing these very high costs of petroleum prices, and that is resulting in many economic impacts, such as inflation in many countries, as prices of goods increase in response to the increase in petroleum prices.
Well, let's now bring in petroleum expert Dr. Sulemana Kone to help us appreciate situations as they unfold. We're grateful that you could join us with your perspective, Doctor. First of all, help us appreciate what exactly is happening on the global scale. Ukraine-Russia crisis, what are you learning as an expert regarding oil prices?
Yeah, thank you very much, Charles. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to our charity viewers in Ghana and across the globe. Yeah, indeed, the oil market is getting very hot, or if I may say hotter, especially the downstream. So whilst the upstream is like is booming in a way, the downstream is getting hotter. So what are all dynamics within the downstream have direct impact on the upstream. So what are the factors that are causing this? Yeah, there are a couple of factors. We have factors we call the bullish. The bullish factors in the oil market are those that keep oil prices high, and then the opposite is the bearish. Those factors that will potentially dip oil prices. So if you weigh the aggregate of the two, factors, the bullish, and then the bearish ones, I think the bullish ones seems to be very potent at this moment. And what are they? Quickly, I noticed the Vice President mentioned energy transition. Yes, energy transition has both features, bullish and bearish. The bullish aspect of it is what we are having now. Investment, as we speak, in the world of hydrocarbon has dwindled. And so even taking out the Ukraine crisis, I think we have a lot of investment that is supposed to go into the world of hydrocarbon to be able to make up the demand, to be able to make up supply, to match up this rapid or buoyant demand that we have at the moment. Yeah, the second aspect of bullish, another momentum is the vaccine rollout. We have vaccine rollout that are proven to be efficacious. Travel community has resumed a lot of vibrancy in traveling, so all this is putting a lot of pressure on demand. And so,
yeah, but if we could focus our lenses once again on the impact in what's happening in Ukraine, because we have seen some sanctions from the European Union, the EU bloc, together with NATO, sanctions from Germany as well to affect specific gas pipelines, which subsequently is expected to have a trickle-down effect on gas prices, not just around the world, but here in Ghana as well.
Yeah, that's correct, and you are spot on. In fact, if you look at those sentiments that I talk about, at the moment, the Ukraine-Russia crisis happen to be the wild card as we speak now. And I must say that we're going to have a hotter moment before the market can get cool, because there's no sign of cool heads prevailing. And as long as this pandemonium between Russia and Ukraine, the border dispute continues, we're going to have these oil prices trying to take the bullish trajectory. And if you look at the Nord Stream project, I think it's been suspended. But even away from that, let's look at Russia. Russia is a force to reckon with, Charles. As long as Saudi Arabia remains the OPEC leader, Russia is also the de facto OPEC plus leader. They produce about 10% of global oil supply, as we speak, 10 million plus. So any impact on Russia that will potentially cause them not to churn out oil into the global basket, it will only keep the situation worse. As for the cutting of the Nord Stream project, I think it's two ways. The Europeans have a lot to lose in this space as compared to the Russians. Yes, Russians, money-wise, they could lose, but energy security in Europe at the moment, a lot of it depends on Russian gas. And if at the moment we have this Nord Stream project terminated and a lot of sanctions put in place, it will only get the market in a worse situation. And I think we are just beginning to see the starting of that. My only hope is that we can have cool heads prevailing. Other than that, I think we're going to see a hotter moment before we can get before the market can get a bit chilled out.
Great, but analyze for us the trickle-down effect on Ghana. Already we are seeing transport fares shoot up by 30% this week. Help us appreciate the gravity of this on fuel prices at the pumps in Ghana.
Yes, the gravity is enormous, and nobody can underestimate that. With oil prices above 90s, if you take this and put it into our price build-up, I think the consumer is going to pay more. And the market, I think, is going to get hotter before it can get cold, like I mentioned. And so, yes, if you look at whatever within the price build-up, three things are there categorically. We have the exchange rate, the prevailing oil price in the global market, and then the taxes. These are the only things that cumulatively give our price build-up. So with one of them, which is the oil price in the global market, taking such a bullish trajectory, the market will only get worse. And I think we consumers have to please themselves. And so with the transport fares going up, it is just natural, Charles. If what we pay at the pump goes high and continue to go very high, it will have trickle effect on even inflation. And I must put on record that this is a global phenomenon, but the impact on local economies the impact on local economy will equally be die, depending on the structural arrangement of that particular local economy. And I think this impact will depend, the gravity of the impact will depend on the kind of policies that a particular country put in place.
Great.
Some will be impacted more than others, and I think we are going to be impacted more, yeah.
And speaking of policies, it begs the question, what should be the contingency plan of government amid these price uncertainties?
Yeah, straightforward, the three things I talked about. Taxes remains one of the credible, variable in this place. But of course, you can see what's going on within our, our fiscal regime. We are tied up, and I don't know what's going to happen. They could try to look at the taxes, but taxes are only short while. I don't recommend taxes will only cool down the market temporarily. But we'll come back to this. What do we expect? Just we operate what we call an upstream and downstream. You don't operate these two streams as segregated entities. You have to operate them and link them up seamlessly. All economies that are surviving and that are becoming triumphant in this trajectory are those who are able to link up the upstream and then the downstream. We haven't seen that. The benefits from the upstream should be able to cascade into the downstream. That's what we need to do.
Dr. Suleiman Yusuf, we're grateful for your analysis on this development regarding the impact of the Ukraine-Russia crisis on world prices and petroleum prices here in Ghana. We shall be keeping an eye on this to give you updates as and when.